I am the manager of the UW-Madison Insect Diagnostic Lab. Basically, if it's creepy and crawly, that's what I deal with. Each year, I get over 2,000 samples in the lab here, and folks email me insect questions all the time. I think it's fun. I mean, I get to see so many neat insects that come through the doors here. I love getting all kinds of insect questions.
So what's up with all these lady beetles flying around? Sometimes they even bite.
What you're seeing is called the multicolored Asian lady beetle. Not native to the US, especially in the fall when we have unseasonably warm conditions. That's often when we see a lot of activity. They can sense that winter is coming, and so their instinct is to look for overwintering spots. You often see them flying around buildings, trying to sneak through cracks and crevices to get to some sheltered spot to hunker down for the winter. They also have the habit of sometimes flying to contrasting colors. They will land on you sometimes in large numbers, and they can nip every once in a while. Out in nature, they're actually beneficial creatures because they feed on pest insects like aphids, but accidentally they bite and nip humans too.
Can carpenter ants really eat my home?
Carpenter ants can't chew into sound, hard wood. They can only chew into soft, rotting wood. So they really don't damage wood unless it's already been softened up by water. If you do find carpenter ants in your house, there is a chance that they could be causing some damage. So what you should do in those cases is do a little bit of detective work and look around and try and find the source of the ants and look and see, could there perhaps be some soft wood from a leaking pipe or something along those lines. And if you find ants in your house, you need to get it into an entomologist to look at it to really tell you what species of ant it is. At no point should you freak out with carpenter ants. Really, they're not going to eat you out of house or home, but it could indicate a water problem.
Why are mosquitoes attracted to some people more than others?
There is truth behind that certain people are actually what we would call mosquito magnets. And there's a number of reasons for this. We have a chemical soup, all kinds of molecules on our skin, as well as bacteria and other microorganisms. And so we have this scent about us. And so that can vary from person to person. And there is a genetic component as well. It turns out some scientists have looked at twins, and they found that identical twins were very similarly attractive to mosquitoes. In general, if you find that you are highly attractive to insects, probably best to wear long sleeves and use a mosquito repellent to keep them at bay.
Hey PJ, we've got these little brown bugs trying to get into our house. What are they?
So what you're probably seeing is the brown marmorated stink bug. This is an invasive species that likes to sneak indoors for the winter. And so they can congregate on siding, around door frames, and around windows. And being a stink bug, if you disturb them, they can release a rather nasty smelling scent. Some folks describe it as coriander, other folks describe it as musty gym socks. And so it's not a particularly pleasant insect to have hanging around your house. There's pictures from out east where folks have hundreds or thousands of these on their porch, and they're sweeping them off with a broom or using a snow shovel to get rid of them. Once indoors, they're not going to be able to breed or reproduce. They're simply waiting for spring to come. Insects are just so cool. We're discovering new species all the time. Insects do a lot of very important things for us. If all the insects on the planet disappeared overnight, life would be very hard. I mean, we have insects that live in colonies. We have insects living up on glaciers and snowfields. They are the most diverse and most abundant type of animal that we know of on the planet, so it's absolutely fascinating.